Okay, so here today, I'm going to talk to you about the thing that I see so often people do, and I will call it wrong, okay? And it's the fact that people are trying to advance their nutrition, they're trying to take themselves to this next level, but they don't do the basics. Now look, you've heard this over and over, right? I've said it over and over. Other coaches may say it over and over, and it's something that people say for a reason. And that reason is because it fucking works, right? And we need to look at the basics before we move on to the more advanced stuff. And you know what? Like, one thing I'll say as well, quite often you don't need to do the advanced stuff to get the results that you require. And, you know, the amount of people that I've spoke to before that sort of haven't been looking at these things that I'm going to go through in a moment, and they don't understand what it feels like to feel good, to feel recovered, to feel energetic, to feel ready to go for the sessions, ready to wake up in the morning. You know, these are the simple things that if you're not quite dialing this in, and then I don't understand how you're then going to get to the next level, which you desire to do. So you need to think about this, right? If you want to go far in strength, you want to go far in strongman, powerlifting, whatever it may be, some kind of performance sport, then you need to dial these things in. But that being said as well, you know, for somebody that may be watching this that isn't into sport, that isn't trying to take themselves to that next level, if you're not doing the simple things, how good do you feel day to day? You know, and again, I would definitely question, are you feeling good? Do you know what it feels like to feel good? And that's the sort of thing that you need to be thinking about. So look, I'm just going to dive straight into this and make it really simple for you to understand, okay? Quite simply, there's a certain amount of things that I do with people when they come on to work with me, and it's the first phase of the nutrition system that we look at. Now, it's important that you get these things in place before we move on to anything else, and it's also important that you do this in a clear state, if you like, and you master it before you move on to anything else. Because again, the problem is that you have with people where they'll add in certain foods, certain ways of eating, or they might start fasting, or these different systems and things because they heard someone else do it and they got good results doing it. When actually, if you haven't mastered the initial start, and then you can't move on. Now, I'm not going to make this too detailed in exactly the types of foods and the breakdown of food, but I want to make this just a super simple outlook on your nutrition system that you have in place. Now, first things first, right? Before I take anybody on further in the next step, I always look at actually what are you eating, okay? And again, I've said it before, like if you don't know what you're eating, then I don't understand where you think you're going to go. So you need to know exactly what you're eating before you move any further than this. So first things first, get onto MyFitnessPal, have a look at exactly what the foods that you're eating and understand it, and actually start to study the foods. And then you'll know exactly where you need to go after that. And once you've done that, on MyFitnessPal, it's important to understand first things first, protein, okay? So you need to make sure you're eating enough protein. Now, there is different calculations depending on where you want to go, right? You can look at, for example, 1 gram per kilogram of body weight for protein, up to around 3. I've seen it higher than that as well. But you need to be within that frame. Some people are really low, some people are really high, and ultimately you just need to be within that frame so you can understand exactly where you're at. Again, I don't want to go into too much detail there. That's just a slight rule of thumb to look at. But ultimately, you need to see where your protein is. And without you doing that, I can't really guide you in what to do, whether you need to take it up or down. The next thing then we obviously want to look at is the fats that you're eating. So again, I'm not going to give you grams or anything like that, but we're just looking at actually what are the types of fats that you're eating. So are you getting enough of the obvious stuff, right? So the healthy fats, the fats that are going to stimulate your hormones and that are going to basically clean up your body and make you healthy, right? So making sure that you have nuts, fish, avocados, coconut oil, all these types of fats that are good for you. So again, are you having any of those? And if you're not, then put them in. The other thing obviously then we need to look at is the carbs. So with the carbs side of things, now, especially for a lot of strength athletes, performance athletes, you do need a lot of carbs, right? Typically. Some people don't, but typically you do. Now, it's making sure that you're eating the right carbs. When I say the right carbs, first of all, the easy digestible carbs, but secondly, the carbs that you agree with, as in your body. Because again, there's things that we hear all the time where people are like, I'm eating loads of this because someone told me to, but I feel bloated after eating it. Then don't eat it. Simple as that. And it's about being clever, smart, and specific to you so you can understand how your body works, what it needs, and then you can fuel the best for it. I know I've spoken to people before where, the types of food I have makes other people feel bloated or vice versa. And it's all down to the individual person so you can start to see what you respond like, and then you can start to really tailor things into what you need. So make sure that your carbs are the clean ones. Make sure that the ones that you respond well to, and they're the carbs that make you feel energetic so that you know that they're doing the job that they should be doing. Other than that as well, like on the greens side of things, now, obviously, so many people don't eat enough greens. Now, it's just a given thing. Like, I think it's just, I don't know, maybe it's a UK thing, whatever. But a lot of people don't eat enough greens. So, rule of thumb, try and have greens with every single meal. Okay, something of some way, shape or form, have some greens. Now, breakfast, I'll typically have a greens shake, and then the other meals, I'll have greens within the meals. And it's just really to get you in that position where you're fueling your body with the micronutrients that you need throughout the day. You're drip feeding it. A lot of people try and get, when you're trying to get stronger, trying to perform better, they're thinking about eating more calories, but they're not thinking about what their actual breakdown is, either the macronutrient or the micronutrient. So we need all the little, micronutrients that are within in the greens to help you. And the other thing is as well that I'd also throw in there is like having berries. Now, I'm a massive fan of having berries every single day. There's lots of antioxidants and then again micronutrients within berries that are important. So have them in your food every single day and it will help you. So that's looking at your food as an outlook, right? Now, again, it's not about going into detail too much there. It's just looking at everything as an overview to understand that if you're within that criteria, then you're ready to move on to the next stage, if you like. But also what I'll throw in there as well, just because I know it's things that people need to work on at this stage, but it's making sure that your sleep and your water is taken into account as well. So first of all, hydration. How much do you hydrate? Again, so many people are underhydrating. And it's important to make sure that you're having enough water and you have a simple format. Like I've literally got this bottle that I have 3 of these a day. They're 1.5 litres, so I'll have 4.5 litres a day. And that is something that I just keep an eye on and make sure that I have. If you get to the point where you're thirsty, it's too late, right? We need to keep keep hydrated as you go through the day, and then you'll stay on top of your hydration levels. And the other thing is, obviously, that I mentioned was the sleep. So sleep, the reason I mention this is because, again, so many people don't get enough sleep, don't take it serious enough, and then suffer from it. So just at this stage right now, make sure your sleep is taken into account. Sleep will also help you eat better because you'll be less stressed, your body will be in a better state, and therefore the food will do a better job because it will be absorbed better and you'll start to utilize your nutrients a lot easier, so your body will break it down better, and therefore in the long run it'll be much of a better position to be in, to be able to then push your food on, change your food, etc. So guys, look, it's just an overview of things. I hope this helps you, and I hope it makes helps you move forward with things. Just really look at these types of things for yourself to understand, exactly where your body's going, how you're responding, without trying to look at the advanced stuff before you've mastered these things. Again, I hope it helps. Comment, share, and subscribe so you can get on to the next videos that I'll be launching.